Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Chapman from Derby Community Acupuncture, and welcome this evening. And we're going to look at what's coming up on community acupuncture this winter. Where we go? Let's just check my slides are working. Yeah, okay, cool. So in this presentation, we're just going to look at the 28-day winter challenge. Also going to look at information on the pathway to self-maintaining your own well-being, which incorporates how to do acupuncture at home and how to revolutionize your relationships, particularly in the area of mental health, and how those combined can restore your health on a day-to-day basis. And then at the end, we're going to do anything you want to know, just open question and answer time. So there's three options that is coming up. We got this the live now, and then the winter community acupuncture 28-day challenge, which we're going to go into much more detail shortly. And this is a pathway that if you take it up, you can basically develop the skills to actually maintain your own and your family's well-being. And that's in the fourth one, the mutual balance relationship revolution empowering connection, which is the world first training that actually brings the skill and capabilities of using acupuncture yourselves in a safe and effective way in just 90 days. And as a preliminary to that, I've put together 6 weekly online sessions, which constitute the fundamental, you could say, introduction of information necessary to begin your acupuncture training. The 6 sessions, we're going to go basically through the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, starting with 1, which is called the pure yang. And this really is the essence of wholeness, and it's the fundamentals of what constitutes psychological well-being. And it's quite distinct from most practices in the approach towards mental well-being, which is normally a behavioural change. So we come underneath behaviour and root out actually what causes behaviour, what's the motivation and action that actually brings desire and into play. So from the pure yang, we have the 2 primary forces where there's a division occurs into yin and yang, and we teach you about how the theory of acupuncture balance involves the unification of yin and yang, and it's really quite simple to apply as well. The 3 powers, heaven, man and earth, registered in the human body as the triple burner, which is the thoracic cavity, the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity, and how those 3 cavities on the trunk interact with each other, create all forms of transformation in the body. Then we go on to the 4 building blocks, which are the 4 seasons and 4 directions. And also the 5 differentiations follow that, where we have 5 seasons or 5 directions, which is actually, you see on these little pictures here, we've got the 4 directions here. And with the 5th direction, we have this yellow component with the directions or the 5th seasons, you could say, implanted between each seasonal change. So this one here is winter, this one's spring, this one's summer, this one's autumn. And when we bring in the number 5, we have a transitional stage that's related to the central aspect of earth, or the personal identity. And then we finally conclude with the 6 areas of balance, which there are 6 divisions or zones on the body in which we apply acupuncture, and like I said, in an extremely simple way. And this one starts on July the 5th. That is a preliminary, as I said, to the mutual balance relationship revolution, the 90-day pathway. And if you're interested in more information on that, there's a link here. You can ask me for the slides if you'd like. But basically, ChineseMedicineOnline.com.au/mutual-balance/ will bring you onto a page where you can actually apply to connect up for about 15 to 30 minutes on a discovery call to see if this type of training is for you. So let's have a look at the Community Acupuncture 28-Day Challenge, which starts on June the 1st. So we got, what, 1 week to begin this. So community acupuncture, well, if I would say acupuncture in its traditional sense, utilised acupuncture treatments in a succession of approximately 10 treatments, so 1 per day for 10 days. And the idea is that the consistent application of acupuncture helps to change the dynamic pattern that has created illness back to one that creates harmony and balance. And it does require repetition. So we've set up this option over 4 weeks where people can come for 2 to 3 weekly sessions. And basically, like I said, it provides rapid change, which means as soon as you insert a needle, particularly if you have a pain syndrome, you should notice immediately an immediate change in your symptom. And that lasts for a certain amount of time, which is relevant to each person. So it's hard to assess exactly how long. Sometimes it's an hour, sometimes it's a day, sometimes it's 3 or 4 days, sometimes it's a week, and sometimes it's remedied in one go. But usually people require about 8 to 12 treatments over a short period of time to ground that change in the physical body so that it does not come back again. The other attribute of acupuncture is it's just through the insertion of the needle in a correct way creates balance in the physiology, but there's no distinction between the physiology and the mind or the emotional expression. So when we create physical balance, we also create mental harmony. So the attributes that a lot of people are suffering due to so-called mental imbalance will find quite a lot of restoration in this system. The respiratory and digestive systems are also harmonized, as well as the sleep patterns. Allergies, fatigue, etc. There are many different types of syndromes that can benefit from this rapid approach. The clinic times are a little limited. So it's Monday, Thursdays and Saturdays, 9:30 to 12:30 and 8:30 to 11:30 on Saturdays. So if you're in the North East area of Tasmania and you can make it to Derby 1, 2 or 3 times a week, then this may be for you. There's also a weekly online session. So this is free for participants of the Winter Challenge, but anybody can join in these online sessions. There is a charge of $29 per session. And it's the fact that in the community acupuncture, there's not going to be a great deal of time to go into a lot of detail about why we use certain points, what they're doing, what effects they might have on the body, what changes that you're experiencing and what they might mean. So these sessions are set up so that we can go much more in depth as a group. And like I said here, every question provides knowledge and insights for everyone. So yeah, I can't say much more about that. The sessions are recorded and anybody's welcome to join those. It's $450 for the 28-day challenge, which includes 12 acupuncture sessions and the 4 hours online training, which basically works out to about $37.50 per session. And there is a second option. So for people who are unable to come 3 times a week, we've set up once where you can come for 1 weekly acupuncture session, still get your 4 hours online training. And we also do 4 weeks of Chinese herbal medicine. So each visit that you come, you'll be prescribed a herbal formula based on your current presentation and symptoms, which we'll take on a daily basis. And that's a way to support the change without the 2 or 3 sessions during the week. And that's an extra $40 for that one. So it's fairly reasonably priced. If we look at common charges for acupuncture sessions within Tasmania, they range from about $70 if you're very lucky, up to $120. So we can see that when we put 12 sessions of those together, we got $840 for the $70 sessions, or $1440 for the $120 sessions. So you're saving between $490 and $1,170, $1,170 with this 450 package. And of course, then you get the online training, usually around 25 to 45 charge per hour. So we got another $180. So basically for 450, you can say this is a savings of between $590 and $1,350, which we actually think is pretty excellent service. There is a special bonus. So if you sign up for the 28-day challenge before the end of this meeting, and I'll give you a free pass to the 6 weekly online sessions. So we're all about promoting self-maintenance. So we're noticing lots of issues within the healthcare service across the board. Certainly availability of being able to get in for appointments with the doctor, perhaps less than satisfactory long-term management of conditions, especially based on pharmaceuticals. And we want to teach people a very simple method of self-care maintenance. And we're keen for people to learn the fundamental information that's involved with that. So we've got a few questions. I can only make one appointment, so we've already discussed that. Herbs are normally, we normally charge $40 a week for herbs. They are getting quite expensive commodity to buy. And so we need to apply a little bit of a charge for that. So we're just adding an extra $10 a week for that $490. I've never had acupuncture. Does it hurt? Well, without a doubt, the fear is worse than the reality. And most people experience a variety of responses to acupuncture, which include tingling sensations that may radiate above or below the point that we're using, sometimes to a completely different area of the body. There's often sensations of heaviness, fullness, or pressure, but that usually leads quite quickly to relaxation. And there can be some soreness initially in certain points, or certain people are quite sensitive, and there are certain areas on the body that are quite sensitive, but usually that soreness fades away very quickly. So you could say that generally acupuncture is pain-free, and most people feel deep relaxation with that. How quickly can I expect results? As I said, normally results are instantaneous. And the saying here is that if you stand a pole in the ground on a sunny day, immediately you get a shadow. So it's the same with acupuncture. So the immediate change of sensation, either completely removed or reduced by a significant amount, is actually the realization of correct diagnosis and application of the acupuncture treatment. I've already said this as well, that traditional acupuncture was given daily or even twice daily for 10 consecutive days. This constituted a treatment regime, and results were assessed at the end of that, and if another 10-day protocol was needed, it would occur. So generally what we've done in Australia and the Western world is we've fitted into people's lifestyles. So we've made the once-a-week treatment the norm. And normally, depending on who you go to see, but usually people have 8 to 12 treatments, like I say, is a good initial thing. So over once a week, that's up to 3 months treatment for a normal standard remedy of a condition. And we discover with community acupuncture that 2 or 3 weekly treatments usually kept a person symptom-free while they actually healed. And that's the aim of it, because people come, they have a treatment, they're good for 2, 3, 4 days, and then the symptoms come back. So we're actually aiming to keep you symptom-free while the actually condition improves. Will acupuncture help my symptoms? It's a very common phrase searched for throughout the internet. And legally in Australia, if you're up for registered as an acupuncturist, which I am, we're only permitted to share what Western science has proved acupuncture to be effective for, which unfortunately is extremely limiting, because the understanding of Chinese medicine through Western science is very rudimentary. However, we're not allowed to say we can treat such and such and such and such. So my recommendation is that you just try for yourself. There are some limitations to pain relief acupuncture effectiveness that have been noted, particularly where a person's had surgery, and especially if there's plates or screws, etc., that are still left in situ. What does acupuncture do? Well, the best way to answer that is to join our 6-week online introduction to maintaining well-being, where we'll ground you in those 6 fundamental aspects of Chinese medical theory. But in short, acupuncture creates balance when applied correctly. And when I mentioned before that there are 6 zones on the body, well, those zones are synonymous on the front and the back, on the left and the right, and on the legs and the arms. So when you use acupuncture, what you really need to be doing is, first of all, assessing where the issue is, what the particular types of sensations are, what zones are covered in the area of imbalance, and what areas of the body on the same zone do you need to acupuncture in order to effect a change. And I would also add that acupuncture is not by any means an acupuncture needle. So just the fact that we have an acupuncture needle, a filiform stainless steel object that gets inserted through the skin, that does not constitute acupuncture. That's a very important fact. So contacts for us, you can join us on Derby Community Acupuncture or Chinese Medicine Online on the Facebook group. You can email me with any questions you have at integralfreedom@gmail.com, or you can friend me on Facebook and just send me a messenger chat, that's fine. Least and most effective is my phone, because I live in an area which has very poor phone reception. I also receive quite large amounts of marketing calls that ring you and just ring off instantly. So I've actually stopped answering my phone. So if you do ring me on that number, please leave a message, and I'll get back to you very soon. And that is the end of this little presentation. And I'll just pause that for a moment.